Are you ready to unleash the power of changing your mindset from fixed to growth in your business? Good news. Today's topic is we're going to be covering how to do that and giving you some strategies and some tips to help you on your journey. So let's get into it. Hi, my name is Keanon Slade, and I have successfully fired. That is, I've achieved financial independence and retired early. And more than that, I'm living in sunny Costa Rica. That's why I have all the lights right here. And so if you are somebody who's ready to make the jump outside the United States, I'm a life coach that is able to help good guys find a great life outside the US. So let's jump into today's topic. First of all, you should know I've had several businesses, and not all my businesses done well. And the problem that I would face is that I had a fixed mindset about things. Most of my life, or a good chunk of my life, I should say, it was in IT or in corporate. And in that world, it was Keanon's the man. Keanon's done this, and he can do that, and we can't do it under this budget, but Keanon did it, and it was being very good at it over here in corporate that I thought just would magically appear every time that I picked up a business adventure. The problem was it didn't. And so when it didn't happen, then I got stuck. Felt like I was a bad person. I felt like I was a loser. I felt maybe this is not for me because it just magically didn't happen. Now, what I forgot over time is I didn't start off in my corporate career being, oh, he's the man. I started off learning, being excited, taking on new challenges, staying up 100 hours in 1 week just to fix some problems, and loved it, especially in my 20s. And so I forgot that, no, you've worked time and time again. You made sure you understood. I kept on top of things. But when I jumped into business, let's say real estate, it was like, okay, we're just going to take a shortcut. We're not going to have any experience. We're just going to talk to that person and nobody else. La, 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 la. Yeah. And that was not a good place for anyone to be. It's a fixed mindset that you have to be perfect, that there's no growth, there's no room for growth. It actually makes you fail in your business. And it also puts you on emotional roller coasters that you really don't need to be on. And so here's a tidbit that actually helped. The first thing you need to do is to be able to recognize you have a fixed mindset. And you may not have a fixed mindset in everything. So maybe it doesn't appear like you never get that. He's so this person, that person. No. It might just be in business, and you might have a growth mindset and other things, and like to learn languages and cooking or whatever it is. But in business, you're like, it's fixed. You'll notice it by stuff like, I can't do it, or I'm not good at that. That type of language could be an indication that you need to be able to transition over to a growth mindset. And that's a thing to saying, okay, yes, this didn't work out, or this is not going as planned. What do we need to change? How can we modify this? How can we make this better? What do we need to adjust? Do we need to go get some help? Do I need a coach? Do I need someone to help me in this journey? And the answer to all the things are probably yes. If you're not succeeding in something, then you have to learn how to pivot. And so if this stuff is actually resonating with you, I want you guys to stay tuned to the very end, because this all goes together and different things that I learned that will actually help you on your journey. But you got to stay tuned to the very end, because again, it's like a sandwich. You just got some of the cheese. We're going to get into the meat and get the bread, and it's going to be really good. Yummy. And the next thing that you have to do is embrace change. There's times in my journey, whether it was investments or my business or whatever, it was like, oh, things are going good. And then something changes. The market changes. You guys remember the market bust for housing? I was in that. Yeah. At that particular time, I did not embrace change. It wasn't pivot. I was into, okay, we're just going to flip. That's where the money's at. And that wasn't where the money's at when the market crashed. A lot of people, a lot of friends that I actually ended up meeting later pivoted, and I wasn't able to pivot during that time. And so it makes more sense to be able to embrace the change. No, it did not go according to plan, but you have to be able to embrace the change, do something different. I think this was before Airbnb, so there wasn't that, but I still could rent, which I did, and ended up being a landlord, of lack of terms. It was, okay, I can't flip, so what else can I do? And this is why I tell people, especially in my other videos, there's a lot more ways to make money in real estate between buying and selling, holding and renting. There's more stuff. I started learning because I started embracing the change. This is something that didn't go according to plan, but now that I see that it's different, it's time to embrace the change and do something about it. Take action on it. These are the things that you need to do no matter what kind of business you have or where your business is going, because it could be doing all right, but could you make it better? Could you adjust for something that's coming? And those are the things that you had to take hold of. If this is resonating for you, and you're especially looking to fire, and you're looking to find a place outside the United States, especially if you have a business mind, which is awesome because business mind, you can do stuff remotely or not have to be there all the time, then this is something that you want to look into. Click the link below so that you can find the tools that you need to actually be able to do this without running into the same hurdles over and over again. The next thing we're going to talk about is learning from your failures. A lot of times with a fixed mindset, a failure is just that. It's finito. It's done. You failed, you're no good at it, you should never try this again, and you're done. That is a terrible mindset, which is the opposite of the growth mindset. Yes, it hurts. It hurts whether you have a fixed mindset or a growth mindset. You had a dream, it got crushed, and you may have to grieve over it or whatever it is. But ultimately, the difference between the fixed and the growth mindset is what can you change? Yes, it didn't go well and it went really bad, but how can we change next time? Or how can we get into another business? Or how can we plan better? Or how can we have a better vision? Or how can we surround ourselves with more people that are knowledgeable and build a team versus trying to do things all on my own? It reminds me of a time when I had my first house. I don't know why I want to go to that particular business, but whatever. I had my first house and I was like, I'm going to fix it up and flip it. It took us months. I grabbed my brother-in-law and we were like, we don't know how to do it, but we're gonna learn how to do it. Just keep it cheap. It took us months to get nowhere. I decided to hire a team and they did what we were doing in months, and I could have learned faster if I was able to get a team. And so when you hit walls and failures, because honestly it was a failure, that we did not get that house done, and it lost a lot of money because the idea was to flip. It was the time where you can flip stuff. And if I'm keeping it for months, I'm losing money, so I'm failing to hit my goals, my financial goals. But if I would have just paid the additional money to get somebody who was knowledgeable and could fix it, then I could have got it back on the market. I had to learn to actually change. These are things that I've learned in just that one example. And so the question is, have you experienced transformational shift in your mindset to help your business? What does that look like? And I want you guys to comment below and help others to learn, how can you shift? What did you have to shift or pivot to actually make things better for you? The next point is surround yourself with growth-oriented people. A lot of times you'll get naysayers, oh, I told you shouldn't have did it, things like that. But no, you want to surround yourself by growth-oriented people. And it's a bonus if you can find them in your industry or whatever you're trying to do. The idea of actually even the synergy, I remember that was the big term back in the day, the synergy of getting around like-minded people. You guys can take stuff from one person who's in one field, another person in another business field, and come together and like, oh, we can add this and this can make it grow. That's the idea of getting around people with a growth mindset. They're going to give you ideas that inspire you. Maybe they're not in the same industry, but they're in the same business, and poof, if they're in the same industry, they're doing well and they're surrounded, and you're surrounded, you're into that group, then you're like, oh, we can make this grow. You want to be able to put yourself around people that are in that like-minded growth mindset, because that will actually make it go a long way. It's a kind of a shortcut of just having to learn everything yourself the hard way. And so you want to be able to surround yourself around people, not be afraid to actually listen to stuff like delegate, which is very important. Your CEO title or this is your company, it's about delegating, not about doing everything. Make processes that will actually help you to be able to step away and say, here, yes, I can do it faster today, but hopefully you will be able to do it faster and take it farther than I can. I'm delegating to you. And so, yes, these are things that you must consider. That is going to do with leadership. And so maybe if you're lacking that and you're like, I'm doing everything, that's a bonus that you want to look up as well. Look up how to do leadership. And then lastly, which I think is just as important, is continuous improvement. And so this still is just about learning. Seek out new ways to not just help yourself, which is something that's crucial, because as a CEO, this person that's wearing the hats, you want to be able to be knowledgeable about what's out there. What techniques? Can I get better as a leader? Can I get better in building my systems? Can I get better at finding how to connect this part with that part? And maybe I don't have to do the work, but can I get better at delegating that to someone else? And so you're actually trying to improve yourself. As continuous improvement of yourself, of your company, to essentially make it grow. And it's, oh, what if I can do this internationally? What if I can be somewhere else and have my company run in the States and I don't have to be there every single day? If this is resonating with you, I want you guys to click the link, because if you're on the journey of firing, or again, I talk about investments and having investments in your business and whatever else you have in investments, this is something that you want to do because it's a toolkit that actually will help you on your journey, especially when you're thinking about relocating, lowering your costs, and figuring out different lifestyle choices. You don't have to wait till you're 65 to enjoy life. And so if that sounds like you, I want you to click the link below, and I will see you on the other side.